Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hi, I'm Tanealia. In today's video, we are going to be putting a look together using this Profusion beauty book. It is an eye and face palette. There are 25 eyeshadows, 1 highlighter, 1 blush, and 1 bronzer. I picked this up from Five Below, so this was $5. If you guys have ever been to Five Below, you know what a Five Below is. You've probably seen these little beauty books. They tend to have these quite often, like in different color stories and different configurations. I have been interested in trying one of these beauty books for a while, but I hadn't seen a color store that really stood out to me before this one. I just thought this is really pretty. Hold on, let me take the plastic cover off first and then we can get a better look at it. All right, plastic is off. I really loved this color story. These really pretty jewel tones in here. These shimmers in here are really pretty. I didn't paint my nails. I meant to, but I do kind of need to give my nails a little bit of a break. They've been painted for like a while, so we're letting them breathe today. But yeah, what really stood out to me was the bronzer. You know, a lot of times when you see these little full face and eye palettes, the bronzer in the palette won't be made for like deeper skin tones. The face products in general won't work for like deeper skin tones. They're made for like kind of light to medium skin tones. And this bronzer I just thought was so pretty. Like, I think that's definitely going to work for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids real quick. I'm going to use my Milani eyeshadow primer, and then that way it can have a chance to sit down, dry down, set and everything while we do the face products in the face palette. So let's start off with the bronzer, and we're just going to use this kind of flat top blending brush. This is from AOA Studio. I'm not sure about the number. I think it's kind of wiped off a little bit, but I'm going to dip into this bronzer. I've used blushes and highlighters and shadows from Profusion before, but I don't think I've ever used a bronzer, so this will be my first experience with a Profusion bronzer formula. I'm just going to take it and just start blending into the hairline. So I'm planning out, or trying to plan out, my videos for like the rest of August going into September. Let me know, guys, down in the comments what it is, like what videos you would like to see from me, what kind of content you would like to see going forward. I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing, you know, videos that you guys want to see. That's so weird. Why is it so pink right here? Like, you see how it looks more tan here, more bronzy here, and right here it's pink? That is weird. Hold on. I'm going to fix my hair first of all. Like it came loose. First of all, I'm going to kind of swatch this. Okay, see, that looks bronzy. Is that looking kind of pink? It does have more of a kind of a pinky reddish tone to it more than a bronze, doesn't it? It almost looks like kind of a sunburnty shade, like if you went out in the sun and got like a little bit of a sunburn. I'm going to blend a little bit in the back of my hand and then just slowly start kind of buffing in a little bit. I've asked before and I never really get any feedback. Like I said, you know, I'm wanting to make sure that I'm posting, you know, doing videos that you guys actually want to watch. And it really does help when, you know, viewers give me feedback, leave comments down below, let me know what they're liking, what they're not liking, what makeup that they want to see going into the future. Because I'm also wanting to buy some new makeup, but I want to make sure that, you know, I'm not just buying products that I am interested in, but also products that you guys are interested in. You know, leaving those comments, leaving that feedback, it really does help. I'm going to go off camera and kind of work on this blend up here. I have kind of this like streaky, kind of a helmet thing going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and go off camera, work on this blend a little bit, see if we can get that to look a little bit better, and then we'll come back and we'll work on the blush. I have blended this out as well as I could. I went on ahead and I grabbed my Sephora bronzer that I currently have in my Shop My Stash. I don't know what it is about this particular bronzer. I'm a little disappointed because it's blending out to look more like a blush than a bronzer. I was kind of hoping that it would be a nice little toffee kind of a bronzer tone, but it definitely is not. All right, so let's move into blush. I'm going to use this fluffy brush that I got in a Walmart holiday set years ago. I'm going to go into this blush. And this blush is like very kind of bubblegum pink cool. I may blend the blush in with this bronzer to kind of tone it down. But let's see what the blush is looking like on its own. I mean, in general, I like the way that the bronzer is looking as a blush, which is probably how I'm going to end up using it. But, oh, that blush is actually kind of pretty. It blends in with the bronzer that I applied to my cheeks already pretty nicely. That is actually looking pretty good. It's blending in pretty well. It's not like super pigmented, so I'm not getting like a super, you know, bright pink look to my cheeks. It's pretty buildable, which I do like. And that tone is actually pretty. It's not like too super bright. Okay, I like that. The blush is definitely a win. Moving into the highlighter, I'm just going to use this highlighter brush from AOA Studio. It is the F19, and we're going to go into this highlighter. It looks like it's kind of a champagne-y gold shade. All right, let's see. Just going to start lightly dusting it onto the cheeks. It's definitely a little bit more glittery. Not like super glittery, but you can definitely see a little bit more texture on my cheek. I prefer highlighters that are a little more smooth and don't really, you know, show all that texture. It does have a nice little shine to it, but yeah, I wish it was less textury than what I'm seeing on my cheeks right now. Moving into our eye look, one of the things that I did notice about this beauty book, and I'm pretty much seeing this like all the Profusion ones, but they kind of have like a little guide over here to kind of guide you like on how to blend your shadow if you need a guide and you're not quite sure how to do it. So it says, apply a light shimmer base all over the lid and softly blend it upwards. Concentrate the shimmer and inner tear duct to brighten the eye. So this is telling you to put the shimmer on first. Use a medium shade and apply it in the crease. Take the rest of that color to blend upwards for a soft look. So apply the shimmer first, then apply something in the crease. With a darker shade, apply over the medium color, concentrating in the crease area. Softly blend the dark shade to the bottom lash line for soft smoky eyes. Then for a more dramatic look, use the darkest eyeshadow in the outer corner lid as well as the bottom lash line. Well, I have to say I have never, you know, applied my shimmer first and then applied my matte, so I'm just going to kind of do it in the way that I would normally do it. So we're going to apply our deeper shade first, and then we're going to apply our shimmers. The question is, where do I want to go? I've done like kind of a purpley look lately, but I think that's where I want to go. I think I want to do kind of the purpley shade. So we are going to start with this shade. Actually, I'm going to take this shade. Is that what I want to do? Let me swatch this one. I want to see what... Okay, so it is a black. The question would be, do I want to like take that as my outer corner and then blend a lighter purple? Or maybe just kind of put that along the lash line. I'm not sure. I'm like indecisive about what it is that I want to do. We're just going to keep it simple. We're going to start off with this shade right here and then blend into one of these lighter shades into the crease. And they don't have shade names, so we're just dipping into this one first. It's kind of a deep eggplant purple. Going back to, you know, wanting to film videos that I think you guys would want to watch and wanting to get feedback and stuff. One of the things that I wonder is if being a cruelty-free channel, you know, is like hurting me as far as the type of makeup that, you know, I would want to review. Because the simple fact of the matter is that there are a lot of products that come out like Maybelline, L'Oreal that, I mean, they're super freaking pretty. I would love to be able to try them out, but like I said, I'm cruelty free. And this is just me. I'm not judging anybody else. Like I mentioned before, a lot of the channels that I watch, you know, they're not cruelty free, and I'm fine with that. As long as you have not said you're cruelty free from the beginning, it does not really bother me, you know, what products you're using. But yeah, L'Oreal, you know, comes out with some beautiful products. Maybelline comes out with some beautiful products, and I would love to try them, but they're just not cruelty free. And honestly, you know, being in 2023, I don't understand why brands are still testing on animals to begin with. You would think that we would be, you know, past that by now. But I do think that it hurts me because since I don't use, you know, those types of products because they are cruelty free, you know, and I know these are the types of products that people are really interested in, right? But you know, I'm not going to be using them on my channel. I do think that that affects things. Because I notice that when I make a post and I say, please let me know what new makeup you guys would like to see, and I say it must be cruelty free, I literally get nothing. But I know that if it didn't matter if it was cruelty free or not, I would have a whole list of products that people would want to see. So I'm wondering if that like affects things. But you know, if it does, you know, c'est la vie. I'm a cruelty free channel. That's important to me, and regardless of, you know, if it affects my views or hurts anything, it's just not something that I'm ever going to change. All right, so what do we want to do in the crease? Do we want to stick with the purples or do we want to do something else? I'm actually thinking I want to go into this shade. I don't think I've ever mixed jewel tones like bluey teal shade like this. Let me get the words out with purple. But we're going to try that. I'm going to use my crease brush from Real Techniques. This is the brush. I love this brush for just going into the crease. When you have smaller eyelid space, you have hooded eyes, having a pointy brush like this that just really tucks into that crease area, it really does help. And I'm just taking a little bit and I'm just kind of lightly blending it into the purple. Blue and purple blend well with each other. You're not really going to get anything muddy, which is nice. Because if you mix red and blue together, you're going to get purple. So you can mix or blend a blue into a purple and they'll work fine together. Okay, that's kind of pretty. I feel like this teal is not like super pigmented, like I'm having to really kind of build it up a little bit more. But it is pretty. Like once we get there, it's nice. I just thought I'd do something a little bit different than what I've been doing lately. Alright, I am liking how that's looking. I am going to add just a little bit more purple on the outer corner and then we'll move into our shimmers. I'm going to take this Joa flat shader brush and the first thing I'm going to do is apply my glitter base booster from BH Cosmetics. This really kind of helps to make the shimmers pop. So you get a little bit more shine, and I'm going to spread this out between both eyes because I got quite a bit of glitter base on my brush here. For my shimmers, I think I'm going to go into this shade right here and lay that on the outer portion, and then I think I'm going to take this shade on the inner portion. So first we're going to start off with that kind of deeper teal shade. We're going to lay that on the outer portion. So just kind of right in here. When it comes to Profusion shimmers, they're kind of like hit or miss. Sometimes they're like super shiny with a lot of impact, and sometimes they're just like super dull. This is a pretty shade. It's a really pretty jewel toned. It's not the most shimmery or wet looking of shimmers, but it is pretty. I'm really just kind of laying it down just right where I laid that glitter base. I'm going to go back in with this first brush and just kind of blend these outer corners. I like everything to be kind of melted in together. I don't like it when my shimmer, you know, has like a line going up and down, like a stark contrast between that shade and the mattes. I do like them to kind of mesh together. So I always go back and just blend the edges out after I lay down my main shimmer. Now I'm going to take the smallest blend bunny brush and we're going to go into this lighter shade and lay that in the inner portion of the eye. So right in here. Oh, that's pretty. That's a pretty shade. And we're just kind of blending it into that teal just a little bit so that everything blends in together. That's nice. Ooh, that's really pretty. I like the way this is coming out. Alright, so that is going to be it for the shimmers. I'm going to go off camera, do liner, lashes, something in my waterline, something in my lips, and then we'll come back and we'll see the final look all put together. We are back. Final look is complete. For my liner, I just use my Artista liner once again from LA Studio. You know, this is one of my favorite liners. For my waterline, I'm using from Tresluce. This is one of the Intenso liners in Icy. It's just a really pretty pearly white icy liner. I wanted something like really bright in that area. My lashes are Ardell Demi Wispies, and for my lips I'm using a combination of the Beauty Bay lip pencil in Heart and one of the 24-hour CoverGirl matte lipsticks. I don't even know they make these anymore, but this is one of my favorite formulas and my favorite shade. It is in Thrill Seeker. Yes, it is a little bright. Have a little bright lipstick going with a bright eye, but that's what I was going for. It's kind of what I wanted, and I do like the way that it came together. Let's talk about this beauty book. The only part of the beauty book that I'm a little disappointed in is the bronzer, and the bronzer would, like I said, that's what stood out to me. That's what caught my attention. It looks more like a blush than it does a bronzer. It's so weird. I was blending it out like around my forehead area, and it was literally kind of turning into like a reddish pink. It kind of has that almost sunburnt kind of look to it, just not bronzy enough for me. Like if it was a little more golden and a little less red, I would have liked it more. But the blush and the highlighter were absolutely beautiful. All the mattes blended beautifully. I like the way that the shimmers, you know, look on the eyelid. Overall, I think this is a pretty nice little palette. And I only paid $5, you know, for this beauty book. And, you know, you get a lot for $5. You get all the shadows, the face products. I really did enjoy playing with this palette. I'm looking forward to playing with it some more. But if you enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with the channel. We're getting the video into recommendations. I am still working on my 2,000 subscriber giveaway. It feels like it's taking forever to get there, but we are still working towards that. As soon as we hit 2,000 subscribers, I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Make sure you tap the notification bell so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.